YouTube, what's the deal? It's your boy H2O coming at you with another video. And today, man, I just want to talk to you guys about music. But before I get into it, I just want to let you know I got my camera right here, my microphone right here, and my OBS, is over here on this screen. So if you guys see me looking around, this is the reason why. But let's get straight into it, man. Music, we all love music, right? Music plays such a vital part in our lives, and it essentially acts as a sonically delivered time machine. You play a track, you can go to a different place than where you are in the current moment, travel back to where you were when you first heard it. That's the magic behind music, right? Levels of music listeners vary, and whether you are someone who can pick apart the layers in a track and hear things that the naked, untrained ear cannot, or whether you're just a casual listener that loves to just press play on tracks and go on about their day, we all love music. But not everybody loves music to the same extent. Not everybody loves it enough to study the greats, study the science behind the music, educate themselves on the business and the essence of the art that we indulge in on a daily basis. So as a creator of music myself, right, I know that you can put some deep lyrics onto a song and mask it over an up-tempo beat, and everyone will dance paying no mind to the words, right? Drums and melody allow for a trance-like state to be created. It turns off the active brain and it moves you to this very ethereal space, but the active brain is shut off, not the subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain is still very susceptible to whatever is being fed. So this allows for division to be made between the listener and the creator. Nowadays, it's extremely easy to take advantage of the listener because the overavailability of knowledge that we have creates this inverse phenomenon that makes people more ignorant and less likely to do the research or believe any speculation that there's foul play at hand. Just to put it into perspective, before I give you guys the meat and potatoes, think about how many things you operate on a daily basis that you have not the slightest clue how they operate on a mechanical, electrical, scientific, any type of level. Think of the things that you use daily and you have no idea how that works. Now, before I roll this clip, let's pay attention to all the absolute bull that the chat is saying. We all know X, man. We all know X multi-million record selling artist, man. He is literally telling these people that I know how to control your mind through my music. Think about how fanatic X fans were, like obsessed with, bro. I was an X fan myself and I see the difference. I see the difference in the change and how people acted over this man until this day. He used this tech that I am explaining in this video. X did this. Watch.
The music. Niggas don't know. It's not always to have fun. It's not always to have fun. Sometimes it's to help people find themselves, because music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? I will hope a motherfucker, before they go pull some negative shit out this conversation, they pull this part of the conversation and then see that I'm really, really actually helping people, bro. Let me be detailed. At 15 years old, I was doing sound engineering. So I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. Now, figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? So there's kilohertz. There's hertz, kilohertz, megahertz. If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, like, if I want you to astral project, right? You know what astral projection is? No. If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that. These little niggas out here don't give a fuck enough to go into that science, bro.
The human body consists of resonant frequencies, right? And vibrations. All of our organs vibrate at different frequencies, with our brains having the highest frequency of megahertz vibration. Literally everything you see is vibrating at subtle frequencies that are naked to the human eye. And this is where the phrase good vibes comes from. Dangerous vibes exist too though. The military has acoustic sound weapons which deliver low frequencies that are inaudible, but can cause this long, freaky list of commercial drug death causes. You get me? It's a long list. Nausea, disorientation, organ rupture, death. The whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So with that being known, there are also forms of music that you can find on YouTube. They're called binaural beats. These beats directly affect the flow state of brain waves to get whatever desired effect the listener desires. When you play Bob Marley, and this is like a more conceptualized, relatable example. When you play Bob Marley, it'll calm you down the second that you turn on the track. If I play some Chief Keef, I'm more liable to fight a nigga if I go play some Chief Keef, and that's just me. The issue is that we don't know how to take that energy and channel it into something useful. The simplest way that I can explain the way that the energy transfer of music works is note emotion correspondence. Note emotion correspondence is this concept. Whatever note you're playing or set of chord gets a specific set of emotions in return. Now, the fact that this is a thing is like, okay, it's like a puppet master type thing. I have the ability to control your emotions through sound. So with that being known, understand what's at play. There's somebody pulling strings. This is the closest that you can get to magic or mind control that I know of without having some type of governmental knowledge. Think about soul music, right? Don't let that go over your head. There has to be an opposite to gospel music because people pay attention to how people act in church when they play music and people catch the Holy Ghost. Why is it that people obsess over these artists to the point that they talk about them on a first name basis and will argue about the artists as if they know that they exist? I've been guilty of this. I've been guilty of this to a certain extent. What the hell brings someone to tears in the presence of another air-breathing human being? This is illness to me, and this illness extends so strongly that we value the words of these celebrities over scientists and proclaimed scholars. We practice idolatry through worshiping these celebrities due to various reasons, and we'll follow these people in blind faith like gods. And we're extremely open to their influence, whether people want to admit it or not. We'll dress like them, talk like them, act like them, and do what they say in their music. And I'll give you a perfect example, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD has openly admitted that Future got him into drugs.
2 years later, 3 years later, Future dropped 56 Nights. By the way, Future is the GOAT. Future dropped 56 Nights. Niggas is hitting my phone like, will you get all them perks from them Zans? Like, cause of some music. And like I said, I don't know if I said this earlier in here or in having a convo with somebody else, but hearing that music at such a young age, nigga, I was trying to sip lean in 6th grade. Listening to Dirty Sprite 1 and True Story.
And Future has come out to say that he does not do drugs like that. Juice WRLD's drug problem was created from the music that he digested, and it ultimately took his life.
I had a conversation with Future one time in the studio, and he said something that I will never forget. And he laughed while he said it. He was like, yeah, you know, people be thinking I do people be thinking I'm really doing a lot of drugs because I rap about it all the time. But they don't even be knowing I'm a lightweight. I said, in my head. Because there are a lot of people that are huge Future fans, for instance. And that's how they're gonna feel closer to him, because they're doing what they're hearing him rap about. Not knowing that he ain't
on it like that.
Not like that, no.
So, knowing this, we can delve into the second part of the video, and I'll explain to you why all of your favorite rappers are sellouts. A lot of these people, they just perpetrating an image for paper, for money, for the white man. Our culture is controlled by white men from other countries who have the mindset of profiting and affecting cultures that have nothing to do with their own, right? So all of these companies are owned by the same umbrellas. They're all up under the same, you know what I'm saying, the same ownership. These are all the people that control our entertainment. These are known as mass multimedia companies. And these companies buy everything that has the power to influence culture in an effort to keep their grip on the throat of society and get their sick billionaire off without people noticing. This is the Illuminati. This is not no oogie boogie spooky boogeyman. This is what it really is. These are European males who amass large sums of money. They amass large sums of money and dip their fingers in shit that don't got nothing to do with them, and they pull string. The music industry is not safe from this. It is not safe. So let's get straight into it. There is no competition in this industry. Only 3 labels that actually work together. Sony, you got Universal, and you got Warner Music Group. All of these people are in cahoots. Everybody, they all in bed together. They all teamed up. So just remember that they all control the music. Let's rewind a little bit to the time where we can capture the first instant of sellout, because it seems to be that it's always us selling our culture into some shit. Who was responsible for slavery? When they came over and ran that game, who authorized it to be okay? We did. So always remember that. Let's talk about it. NWA, first group of sellouts. None of these was gangsters. They're all frauds. Ice Cube dropped out of school to rap. Dre was dancing in sequin suits. And Eazy-E parents was married and he chose to sell drugs from influence from his cousin. Before NWA came along, rap was focused on the consciousness and invigoration of the mind. There was no term for conscious rap because that's all that was. NWA shifted the entire scene of hip hop from the nation of gods to a global property that was commercialized and weaponized. At first, the government condemned this type of messaging because it posed as a threat. But the profits were unreal, more than they've ever seen, and they realized that they can really make a pretty penny off of this. Keep in mind, just the year before, in 1988, Public Enemy had released Fight the Power. So you got these 2 songs back to back. Imagine how scared the government was to have the black masses with their thinking caps on, man. They couldn't have that shit. You can't have that. You cannot have the black mind knowing that he is God, because that means demolition for the white man. That's just the facts. So, like I was saying, the prophets were so unreal that they had to take a second thought at it and realize, hey, we might be able to capitalize off of this some way. So they figured out a way to commoditize our culture and feed it back to us as poison. Conscious rap was deemed lame, and the negative aspects of our culture were put at the forefront and glorified. And there you have it. It's been the same shit over and over again since 1988. Since 1988, we've been watching these sellouts come and go. I will pay you to personify something that you are not, to motivate people to do shit that they don't have to do, and you will continue to destroy your own community. And you get to come sit with me in my private jet and suck my
head. 6 braids off the back of your head if you fall asleep at 5 p.m. until...
Okay, I'm trying to be fair now. Did he said if you go to sleep, I'm gonna shave your head in the bed? Is that what he's saying? Maybe. This shit does be a little spooky to me because, number one, I just can't understand all these rappers who claim they just love they niggas, they dogs. They're hanging out with this dude or they're hanging out with these white dudes who ain't hip hop at all. The niggas who they hanging out with is basically not who they claim they love hanging out with. And when they hang out with these niggas, they're doing rituals and they're doing things that make it seem like they're down to compromise character.
Rick Ross is he was a correctional officer. Why are you rapping about building a drug empire, bro? Why is your name Rick Ross? Do y'all know who the real Rick Ross is? That's just the off top of the dome example. You feel? I just want to make a couple points, you know what I'm saying, wrap up the video with some more cohesion. So I will say that our culture has been completely infiltrated and destroyed by the white man incentivizing cap. So now you have this sea of trash rappers that care little to none about the integrity and the love and the hard work that's behind the craft. And they will continue to poison their community with the trash that they hear from the top rappers, their favorite rappers and whatnot, because that's what sells. I know people that have never aimed a gun at another human being, yet according to their raps, shit, let alone a paper target, but according to their raps, they smoke niggas on a daily basis. This is a cycle that's going to continue to perpetuate itself because you got lame ass niggas that will come to the microphone and say stuff like, oh, this is what all the other rappers do, so I'm gonna do it too. I'm a cap too, because we are a society of followers. We have no more leaders. And that is just the fact. So this cycle will continue to perpetuate itself. And when artists are questioned about their part in the demise of our community, they'll act as if they're innocent and they have no idea of the influence that their music has. However, you can look at the numbers that you amass on social media and go in a comment section and feel validation from all of the people that's on their knees praying to you. Don't they call, what's Jay-Z's nickname? Hove? Yeah, man, you can't make these type of things up, you know? So I will just close this video by saying music has effectively progressed the decay of the mind of all people, let alone just the people with my skin color, because this is our music and this is our culture. It comes from us. So of course, everything is going to directly affect us before anything. What the hell does this white man from France have anything to do with my struggle? What does he know about this? Why is he controlling the media that I digest? With all that being said, man, I just want to bring awareness to these type of topics, and whether you will continue to perpetuate the cycle or not, that is entirely up to you. And most people will, because that's just the way that it goes. But with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You got something from it. Maybe you learned a little something. I really tried to stay surface level on this. I could get very, very deep into it, but that takes a lot of work, and I'm a very busy person. And this video was supposed to be done a long time ago. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.